Once you lose trust, then that's very, very difficult to regain. And no matter how much heavy lifting they may do, to be able to go back to the kind of fervor that Prime Minister Modi displayed when he was swinging on a swing in Sabarmati or walking around the temples of Mamallapuram, I don't see how that spirit of Wuhan can be revived. But General Dwivedi, we just saw from the Chinese Foreign Ministry what looks like a rather rattled statement saying that at this point neither party should seek to escalate because talks are going on and that an effort to de-escalate and disengage is currently underway. How do you interpret the statements coming out from the Foreign Ministry in China?
Well, Rahul, that is exactly the strategy, because after they are done the nibbling, then they get on to marathon talks. They send a lot of diplomatic, political signaling. Their aim is to then retain the status quo. And, if you go back to Korea, 1950, they talked to the Americans for 2 years at Panmunjom and didn't yield their ground. Now, this is the Chinese strategy. Military make gains. After that, politically, diplomatically get involved in marathon talks, get the other party tired and test the patience. Now, this is exactly the Chinese are going to play it out. And these talks are not going to end anytime soon. They are on the bargaining table with certain advantage. Until we create ground advantage, Rahul, we are not going to come out winners on the negotiation table. And secondly, we should be prepared to scale it up. I am not a warmonger, but as we say that we haven't fired a shot in the last 45 years. I wish we had fired some shots. Then PLA would have taken the message. They have taken for granted that keep nibbling, and all the agreements that are to their advantage, 1993, 96, 2007, 2013, all are in their favor because they are only consolidating the ground gain without firing a shot. I think this is the time, this tipping point. We must get very clear that if they don't go back by talks, then we have to scale it up. And there are a number of options available on the 3,488 kilometer line of action control, and that will have to be executed until Chinese are pressurized militarily, diplomatically, politically. I don't think they are going to go back anytime soon.
Colonel Dini, you've been in the Pangong area. You're seeing the kind of troop mobilization and deployment that's happened. The satellite pictures that we've been putting out very clearly demonstrate that. What's your sense, as someone who's been on the ground, dealt with the Chinese more at a tactical level, what's your sense of how the Chinese army is likely to respond to what the Prime Minister said?
Rahul, I think this is one of those classical strategic messaging which is done because primarily this time the timing, the situation and the content, all three has been absolutely right. And till now, we were building up the capability in that area to take on any Chinese misadventure in case they plan something and if we are surprised. So the capability in the sense of putting forces there and all those things were in place. Now, we all know that for a threat, and I don't mean the threat in the offensive, like you going into offensive, but for a valuable threat or a threat which is with content, you need to have intent also. So today the Prime Minister gave out that intent that should the Chinese do anything of that nature, then India will respond.
No, but one second. When you say should the Chinese do something, they've already made the moves they had to. From the perspective of the Chinese army, they've already moved the pieces on the chessboard. Now the onus is on us. Do we accept that status quo? Do we push them back? Do we ingress elsewhere? That's really now for India to do. This onus of a pushback is really at this moment on the Indian army, sir.
Yes, absolutely. I'm coming to that. What the intent of this thing is that the return to status quo ante is absolutely non-negotiable. We had 3 rounds of talks with the Lieutenant General. So there has been some kind of positive outcome that it will be a gradual de-escalation. What the Prime Minister's message this was that we mean business here. It has to be returned to status quo ante. Other than that, nothing is acceptable to us. And as the previous many speakers have brought out that this also conveys that should you don't do that, we have an option open, and that intent is what is being told in today's strategic messaging which was done. So that is the first thing which is
General Gurmeet Singh, what's your sense of the level of preparedness of both armies? If push come to shove, if we were to see a shootout, do you see the Indian army being able to push the Chinese back from areas that they've currently come and entrenched themselves into?
Rahul, thank you for asking this question to me because with 6 years in military operation, with 7 visits to China, and having visited this motorized division in Urumqi as the head of the delegation, I would like to honestly tell you my conviction on the whole perspective. Firstly, if you look at the phases of what the conflict has gone through, initially it was a mistake by China to be aggressive, provocative, and diversionary in Eastern Ladakh. Secondly, we went into the phase of disengagement starting from 6th June. Then after that, they did a big, massive blunder on 15th June. Then 22nd June, they again started a disengagement process. And as on today, the strategic message which has been given by the Prime Minister, and you asked me about the preparedness, let me honestly tell you that analyzing it from every perspective of our military preparedness and the entire enjoining of all elements of power, in case the conflict or the balloon goes up, China and PLA is bound to lose. And the reasons are that Indian Army experience in the mountain warfare, high altitude warfare, combat experience, Air Force, it has got a distinctive edge. Unfortunately, very large number of us do not know the self-worth of India and Indian Army. In fact, the Indian Army has been proving itself from 1967 onward. And in every conflict, they have picked up a edge in combat and efficiency. In fact, your late father, revered father, we were together in MO, and we have always maintained this aspect, what I'm telling you today.
Sushant Sareen, while those in the Indian Army like to harp upon the fact that India has more experience in mountain warfare than any other army does, we maintain posts in Siachen, which is inhospitable for most, and the Chinese army doesn't really have that kind of experience at those kinds of altitudes and at that level of temperature. The reality is that the Chinese army has also built up a lot of capacity. So if this isn't the India of 1962, this isn't the China of 1962 either. At this moment, as someone outside the army, how would you compare the fighting abilities of these two forces?
I think I would certainly give the Indians a certain edge in terms of fighting abilities. Yes, the Chinese have the technology. Yes, they have a lot of material. But do they have the stomach for a fight? Number one. And we have seen, normally just because you have a technological edge, which is exactly what the Chinese might be having, a somewhat of a technological edge, that will also be tested on the battlefield. At least in the Indian case, your weapon systems are all tried and tested. In the Chinese case, all that we have is Global Times videos to show that how effective those weapons are.
It's all made in China, so you don't even know if it's going to work.
Yeah, you don't know whether they're going to be firing on themselves or firing on somebody else. So that is one part of it. But I think, away from how the two forces are pitted against each other, and I have no reason to doubt the assessment of General Gurmeet Singh or any of the other Indian Army people, because they have seen how their army has grown. My point is a simple one. As any politician in India, any responsible...
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.